Hey all, welcome to Circle of Tone. And today, a little bit of hope. If you're familiar with this channel, I really rag on the modern guitar YouTube forum, Facebook group community. Rap has rock stars. Now the average YouTuber guitar guy that's influencing everyone, the average band that's out there, they look like me. Fat dudes polishing a pedal board saying, look at this, look at this. There's no like rock stars blowing people's minds anymore. I mean, look at hardcore. The old hardcore scene was nothing but ripped dudes where they fought up on the monitor with fucking abs everywhere. There is a lot of that shit. I don't care what you say. That shit sold to straight, young, angry males. They're influenced by good-looking people. Unfortunately, with the digital audio workstation, which most of these people record through, unfortunately, it's been overrun by nerds. So rock and metal and the ethos of it has disappeared, and now you have fat people that look like me and saying, oh, this is a good setting, and it's taken it away from, sex, drugs, and rock and roll to what I call a foamy latte. A nice coffee shop atmosphere has happened to metal and rock online because the people who embody rock and roll, the people who used to kick cameras out of paparazzi's hands, Richie Blackmore threw a fit and it wouldn't come out of his trailer. It had like hundreds of thousands of people waiting in the sun with no music playing, with no band or anything, just because of him. And then when he finally came out of his trailer, he got on stage and he put explosives underneath the guitar amps. And on the last couple of, I think it was the last song, bang, he like put a hole in the stage. He's just an absolute savage, man. Do not mess with that man. He might be into the acoustic, into the mellow stuff these days, but I think that there's a lot of darkness in that man, and heavy metal is shaped because of lunatics like him. And I love it. I just love it. Rock and roll, man, it's missing a bit of attitude, a bit of piss and vinegar. And today it's like I say, it's one long vanilla sausage on rails that we have to deal with. And I'm going to have to start doing some more videos on this thing because it's becoming ridiculous. Just the assholes are gone. The bit of danger has gone. It's all in rap. That's why rap is massive right now. It has the promise of sex, drugs, action, danger, vagabond, right? The metal community now online is pretty cringe. And it's overcompensated into black metal, which I also make fun of now because that's become super fashionable. Black metal needs to have a long, anguished death rattle into the sea so we can see what's next. What's next in the underground? Like I said in my last video, where imagine Seattle for 25 years. Imagine that. It will be hell. So that's what it's like for me because I'm old. You might be like 20 and just get into it and hearing about the mythos and the lore and you think it's dark and brooding and cool, when it really was just mostly goofballs with some guys with good ideas. There was a lot of elitism, especially when it came to the new wave of black metal. That was basically started by elitists. These metal bots have taken over because of some sexy documentaries and some sexy books. It's Aesop's fables. Been sold a bunch of bullshit, and all they've done is they sprinkled in some unfortunate events with basically a mental illness, with murders and suicide. It's not cool, and it's tragic, but it's not cool. Black metal now, was it the fourth fucking iteration of black metal, where it goes into black and thrash and black and this and black and folk and black and stop? It's saturated it. It's mainstream. And when you have black metal Barbies and black metal makeup tutorials trending on YouTube, I think it's not quite what you were sold what it was. Like the documentaries sold it as a bunch of bullshit of being dark and brooding. The movies sold it just, they had the goofball aspect of it down because they were a couple of goofballs. There are a bunch of young kids who like to play dress up, and they by accident created something which is extremely, extremely fashionable now. And Euronymous and the rest of them, they took it on to be super fashionable. And here we are today, kids, that everything's spinning its wheels in black metal land. I've been talking shit about black metal recently only because of what it's done to the underground, where it's fucking ruined it. So let's stop, unless you can do something new in the black and please don't do anything new in black metal, because I know what you're going to do. You're going to do melodic trem picking, you're going to do anguished screams, and you're going to do blast beats, and it's just got to stop, because fuck black metal. My subscriber's gone. Fuck it, I'm sick of it. And there's a huge problem with copycats. So, what am I getting at? The future. I just did a video on the band house, something that it's missing in modern rock and metal, where you don't have enough savages in a room playing together and getting good together that way. It's more snap to a grid, fake drums, and people, the public, the music listening public don't like it. They voted with their numbers and they're out. They're out of metal. They're out of rock. I was kind of harsh to the bedroom guys. Like, I've told everybody I wasted 20 years of my life doing it. So how do you have a future if you spent all this time on forums, you got the vanilla sausage sound down, you know how to record, you know how to mic up things, you know VST software, you know how to stream, you know how to record, you know how to use cameras. So you're that nerd, right? That nobody finds super interesting, but you know all this stuff. How do you fit into the future of rock and metal? So I did the band house, right? Actual musicians playing and with the spirit of rock and roll, which is missing. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but a lot of the big bands right now, Ghost, Mastodon, they're live, this is a real band, this is rock type of vibe, which is missing. The live scene, even before COVID in rock and metal, is dead. They've been priced out of the market by design by lobbyists and donors. Okay, so you have people like Bain Capital, people like that, buying up Ticketmaster, Live Nation, iHeart Media, and things like that, where they have a monopoly on music. And they push through bills under the table, things like noise ordinance laws. You can't do cover versions now without a license, without paying to do the cover versions. A lot of small venues are getting huge bills because they've had people go there, see people doing covers, and they say, this is not your material. You have to pay us this much a year if you want to continue with live music that plays Universal Music Group band's music. All right. So there's monopolies are in place. Even if you search independent music, independent heavy metal, you're going to get everything in the first few searches are going to be one of the big three. They're going to be either Universal Music Group, they're either going to be Sony, they're going to be Warner. It's going to be one of those big groups. So you're up against it, but you're a nerd and you've learned to do all this stuff, right? It's going to be good. The future of live is this.
This is what the future of events looks like. People are standing 2 meters apart from each other. They're all wearing face masks, and it all seems a little bit bleak, to be honest.
But in an effort to bring back fun and normalcy, scientists at a university in Leipzig, Germany, have gathered thousands of volunteers for a large-scale experiment in the form of a concert, featuring the German musician Tim Bensko, in order to trace how the coronavirus might spread at indoor events during the pandemic, and to model how risk might be minimised at these large events in the future. I'm on my way to my first concert since COVID, which is exciting. I had to take a COVID test before I went, which, thank God, came back negative. A rock concert put on by scientists sounded bizarre and potentially drab, but given that this was my chance to finally attend a concert, I got a press pass, flew to Germany, and went to see if this was a nightlife experience that I'd been missing out on all these months. Obviously, it's a bit strange because we have to wear a mask and it's a bit sweaty. I may as well not have done my makeup. But I guess it'll be interesting to see what it would be like to hold a concert post-COVID. Is it really worth going to a concert when you have to wear a COVID mask? I don't know.
So I've just arrived at the concert hall. I'm going to go and speak to a few people and see if they're enjoying themselves. What's fun about this concert?
Yeah, I think there is the option that is fun. I just hope that we can go and do some dancing because I really miss the dancing.
Is standing outside in the rain with a face mask on really worth it?
Yes.
Okay, firstly, I've got to ask you where you got your beer from because I didn't know that they were selling them here.
No, they provide the beer over here. It's alcohol-free, but it's still good anyways.
Das Einzige, was mich stört, ist, dass ihr da zu dritt sitzt.
Ja, aber das haben dann
Ja, ich weiß, ihr habt euch lieb, aber das schafft er einmal. Ja? Einmal schafft er das.
Surprisingly, Scenario 3 saw the audience at their most engaged. Maybe it was just by this point in the day the audience had finally warmed up. Or maybe this marks the beginning of a new era, where people can only feel like they can be themselves at a concert if they aren't surrounded by anyone else. Or maybe this marks the beginning of a new era, where people can only feel like they can be themselves at a concert if they aren't surrounded by anyone else. Where people can only feel like they can be themselves at a concert if they aren't surrounded by anyone else. If they aren't surrounded by anyone else. Strange times we're living in.
The whole concert in general was definitely an experience. I wouldn't say that I would sign myself up for something like this, and I don't.
And the future of new music releases is this. Okay, boys, this is Owen from the future. This part, really concentrate on this, really watch it, give it a chance. I know it's rap, but this is going to be your future. If you release music, you're going to have to capture people's imagination. You're going to have to capture people's attention. DJs, things like that, there's no such thing. There's not even VJs, they're gone. It's going to be streamers that hype your music. Video games are also intertwined with the music scene. So streamers, personalities, music. I want you to watch this and concentrate because this is going to be the future of music releases.
It's pretty sick.
Truly. They canceled Coachella and EDC, but they brought us this respect. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let you listen to the actual music. I like the headbanging the most.
Sun is down, I'm freezing cold. That's how we already know. When it's here, my dog will probably do it for Louis Bell. That's just all he know, he don't know nothing else. I tried to show him. Yeah. Going on with the pick and roll. Young flame,
Oh my god!
Holy!
Yo!
Oh my god!
Yo!
The lip syncing's pretty good too!
Yo, I wasn't expecting that.
Give me the loot!
Was off the Remy, had up at post.
Oh!
Had to hit my old town to duck the news.
Oh!
4-hour lockdown, we made no moves. Now it's 4 a.m. and I'm back up popping with the crew. I just landed in and Chase B mixes pop like Jamba Joe's. Different color chains, think my jewelry really selling fruits. And they joking, man, know the
Dude, it's insane. They must have actually had him perform the whole thing. Y'all in too deep. Don't play off the right. I'm sliding. The headbang, let's go.
way too formal, y'all know I don't
Follow
follow
suit.
Stacy
Step on me, Travis.
Oh, now we bouncing.
Oh my god, and they have like
Imagine being in Fortnite
astronauts.
and being the
Yes.
size of the entire map.
Godzilla level.
Holy.
You coming too in the 305. Treat me like I'm
Am I the only one singing every single lyric?
It's just a so and sad.
We tripping.
Bro.
Okay, I've been up for some
This
days, I ain't
is
got time to
beautiful.
lay. Just to drown out all these thoughts and try to kind of things. If I take you to my past, you will be traumatized. Got 1,000 kids outside that's trying to come alive. 99 to cash your wallet, had to relocate. Tell the dolls I bring it back.
He's on fire. Just like the wallpaper.
Yeah.
The electricity is dancing. Holy.
Yeah, this is psychedelic as
They keep itching at my spit, I'm diabolical, you feel me?
Uh-oh.
I get those goosebumps every
Time, yeah.
I need that.
This is one of my favorites from Travis Scott. What a goddamn classic.
Yeah, when you're not around, you throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah.
713
to the 21, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? Why they on me?
Oh my god! I was jamming too hard, I wasn't even looking. Okay, this is definitely top 3 Fortnite events, but my personal favorite. I don't even care what happens from here on out. Oh, nah.
I can't with y'all. Yeah,
When
when
I'm
I'm with
with
my squad, I cannot do no wrong. They gon' pull up on you.
Ah, where am I? Dude.
Bro, this is crazy.
Insane. Dude, they're literally, like, this is so immersive. It's like being inside of a music video, straight up. There's a jellyfish. Did you see the jellyfish?
I see the jellyfish. He do be jellyfishing though.
What is he?
I am.
Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance. I wonder if we're in sync. I'm sorry if we're not. 13 hours till I leave out like a light. Oh no. I'm in the robe. Oh, I'm getting a booty shot. I didn't mean to get a booty shot. Guys, I'm trying to get a better angle. It's just a little hard.
Oh,
dude, I'm tripping.
Oh, we gone.
Space, dude.
Let's go.
What the
Oh, we flying.
Dude, this would be a dope event without the music in and of itself. So it's just twice as freaking good.
This adds to it. Makes it even better.
For real, like I would have been satisfied with no concert, no nothing, just the visual. So I'm so impressed.
Dude, it sucks that like we can't like relive these events in game. Like
I know, right? It's only the few concerts they have. I think it's like 3 or 4. I guess we'll have to relive it through our videos. Oh my god, the shooting star.
Lock up the house. We keep the team on high. Some gold in their mouth. That Porsche outside. With at the top.
Ooh, this is insane. I seriously can't believe this. Please don't kill me. The nucleus go boom. Oh my god, the nucleus is a speaker.
black hole.
Butterfly!
Oh my god.
The Travis Scott thing, you have to admit, as a young kid, that's going to influence you. That was actually cool, right? Music might not be great. I actually think the music relatively is good. But you have to realize now that instead of just you with a drum machine, you playing the bass and you streaming and nobody likes it, because let's face it, the vast majority, nobody's watching your stuff or listening to your music. And you might be an amazing musician. It's just the public switched off from that style of music. The only way rock and metal can actually progress now is via live streaming, and your gigs are going to be live. So you have to get something like a band house to get the musicians together, but there also has to be somebody there that knows how to stream, that knows how to set up cameras, multiple cameras, and that knows how to capture it on one of these DAWs. So that all has to be in place for rock and metal live scene in the future. An amazing live band is something that turns heads. If you can capture that in a band house, or if you have a studio and you set it up, and you know musicians locally that are amazing, you can bring them in and live stream and charge. That is the future. That unfortunately, even before COVID, there was no places to play. There are not many rock and metal shows, tours going on in America before COVID. And part of that is because of this monopoly on music, the red tape. It's really, really expensive to even open up a bar with liquor licenses and all sorts of things. So that way, House of Blues, things like that, get the monopoly on the live scene. They do have a monopoly online as well, because this is really going down into it. The adpocalypse and things like that happened in the past is nothing to do with keeping our families safe from online content. It's all to do with keeping Universal Music Group in the top of the search engines. Because in the past, NBC, ABC, none of them would pop up when you search news. The YouTubers would pop up when you search news because everybody hated the media. But now the media have written bills, and they're hand in glove now with Google, so that whatever you search, it's going to be the old media, Fox, ABC, CBS, and they are all like, NBC is owned by Comcast. Comcast owns NBC, owns Universal Music Group. All those people that demonetize you, this has been claimed by UMG, that's them. So they are accelerated in the algorithm when you search in Google at times 1,000 versus your band versus content. So you're up against it. So you have to create something that people really want to watch, and then maybe you can break that glass ceiling. Because it's tough, man. But there is hope. There is hope, because the future of music is going to be live streaming. The future of releases are going to be something epic, graphical, something interactive. Because I'm going to start live streaming, and you create, there's little insider things which people on my channel like. When I call people vanilla sausages, you know what I mean? Or black metal Barbies, things like that. So when I am streaming and playing, say if I make a mistake, I want to have an emoji, an icon of a 9-volt battery flying through the air. So you can throw 9-volt batteries at me, like in the old punk, the old thrash scenes. They'd throw coins at you if you sucked. So I will have the coin flying through the air if I say something, if I make fun of your black metal band that you love. You can throw a coin at me virtually, or eat a lump of shit, because that's happened before. So that type of community where it's a little bit of fun, because the future of business, of the music scene, everything is going to be cheaper. Just from a capitalist point of view, it's cheaper for companies to have you work from home than have an office, electricity and everything else, and paying for your vehicle, things like that. So that's the way things are going to go. Most of it's going to be virtual, including music, including releases, including music videos. You might be good at that type of thing. You might not even know it, because you're technically able to figure all this stuff out. So if you are one of the millions of failed musicians like me that know how to do all this stuff, I think there's a future for you. And if you can be a triple threat, if you can write the music and produce it and gather the talent, you got to think like a record label. What do record labels put in place? They put in marketing. You got to find somebody, a street gang that love you and will share all your stuff, because nobody shares the good stuff on YouTube. Nobody really shares because people have been told that sharing is lame. It filters through from the top. I could do 10 videos on that. So street teams, virtual street teams, all you got to do is like and share this video. That types of thing elevates me or your band. So you got to figure out that aspect of it. You got to figure out image, very important. I'm losing weight. I'm doing weights, not because I really want to, because I know that a lot of people respond to that type of thing online. If you're in shape, if you look like you got your shit together, that helps, right? Rather than being a fat tub of shit. I don't care who you are. The old hardcore scenes, they used to be abs with their foot up on the monitors, and a lot of straight, young, angry males like that stuff. I don't give a fuck what you say. Black flag got big after you know who. So you got that aspect. You also have to have the live vibe, which is missing in rock and metal. That's the band house. Check out that video I talked about of how you can actually, it's cheaper to buy a house and fill it with band members and roadies and people, whoever your techs are and things like that. It's cheaper to do that than rent the worst apartment in America. And so you can figure out the basement, have a live setup. You can stream on the drop of a button with a full band. That's going to be your gig on a Friday night. You're going to have, if it really gets popular, people will donate. They will subscribe to your Patreon. They'll do all sorts of stuff, because you can't keep a good band down. So you got to think like a record label. What else do record labels do? They do the pre-production. The band house takes care of that aspect of it. So yeah, and they have the production companies, the nerds, the Pocket Protector Brigade that used to be in the BBC back in the day, making the Beatles sound amazing. That could be you too. So you could be involved in most of it, but elevate yourself by bringing other people in. The songwriting, other people. Take the Beatles again. They would one-up each other. They would argue, throw teacups at each other and they would win arguments by bringing out a better song than the other one. So this is how it is. You need to recreate the dome of a record label and what it brings. And it's not just writing songs, which is the most important part. Writing and capturing the live performance is the most important part, because that's what's missing in rock and metal. And you can't keep a good band down. So I'm slightly optimistic for the future, but it's so much work. I hope more YouTubers, I hope more of the guitar community start talking like this and talk about how the one-man band with a digital audio workstation is a failed model when it comes to rock and metal. It's great for other aspects, but not for people who are addicted to the gene of the music. When they hear AC/DC let rip, you can't deny a live performance. You can't deny it. You can listen to some of the modern metal you hear and think, oh yeah, like he can actually play that, So yeah, so that's it. Hope. There's hope for you nerds. There's hope for you boring guys. There's hope for that songwriter who isn't getting anywhere because he's not technical enough to know how to do all this. So you have to, as the nerd, you have to grab the talent, find the talent, be the A&R person, be the scout. Say, this drummer is amazing, local drummer, and he's going nowhere. Get him in, get him behind the kit, get somebody else who's amazing. Like, you could probably play the guitar. You and him, somebody else, you can get another guitarist to play bass. All right, chaps, you've been awesome. And thanks to my patrons of Ton. Richard P & Co., you guys are the best. Keep these speakers flapping. Nobody signed up recently, but it helps. But also helps sharing, liking, hitting the bell, all that bullshit you don't do because you're too dark and brooding, right? All right, chaps, have a good one. Put down the Strymon, put down the Tube Screamer, and go out and find that talent and become that label. Because I'm going to try and do it myself. What's up? Circle of Town.
I like the headbanging the most.